September 7, 2023, Phoenix, Arizona, 6:12 a.m. A black SUV idles in the early morning light outside a quiet suburban home. Agents check their radios. Gloves on, vests secured. The warrant is signed. The suspected leader of a major ransomware group in U.S. history is about to be awakened by a knock and a badge. Inside, 22-year-old Tyler Buchanan sleeps soundly. He has no idea his days of breaching billion-dollar corporations are done. Investigators say Buchanan led a group called Scattered Spider. This is a cyber gang of young English-speaking hackers. They are linked to major breaches at MGM Resorts, Caesars Entertainment, and more. Their tactics, not malware, but manipulation. Scattered Spider targeted Fortune 500 companies. They used social engineering, SIM swapping, and fake IT calls to carry out their hacks. They didn't even need to write any ransomware code. They'd open the gates and let ransomware as a service games like AlphaV do the rest. In under 2 years, the crew became a top threat in North America. They were so skilled that people called them the most dangerous threat actor to U.S. enterprises. This isn't just a story about a hacker. It's a tale of boldness and manipulation. It follows the high-stakes game between new cyber criminals and law enforcement. Welcome to Cybercrime History. In early 2022, United States and United Kingdom. They weren't part of a nation-state. They weren't using advanced malware or stealth exploits. And they weren't old-school hackers hiding behind keyboards in basements. Scattered Spider was something different that the cybersecurity world wasn't prepared for. The group started in English-speaking communities on Telegram and hacking forums. Most members were teenagers or in their early 20s. They didn't have formal training in malware development. They had something even more dangerous: confidence. They also had a skill in manipulation and a knack for social engineering. They called themselves OGs, which stands for Original Gangsters. Many began with SIM swapping. This is a method where attackers hijack a person's phone number or take over their accounts. But in 2022, Scattered Spider began to evolve. They're not just stealing social media handles or crypto wallets anymore. Now they're targeting corporations. They realized that if they could talk their way past an IT help desk, they could get into almost any system. Their specialty? Pretending to be employees. Scattered Spider would call a help desk. They would act like real employees. Then they would ask for a password or multi-factor authentication reset. Sometimes they used deep fake voices. Other times, stolen HR data helped them sound convincing. It worked shockingly often. And once they got in, they didn't just look around. They opened the doors for ransomware groups. They partnered with big names like AlphaV to cause more damage. This wasn't just teenage mischief. It was organized infiltration, executed with chilling precision. Between August and September 2023, Las Vegas, Nevada. The stakes didn't get higher than this. MGM Resorts and Caesars Entertainment, the giants of Las Vegas. They handled many slot machines, surveillance cameras, hotel keys, and big customer databases. They were supposed to be unbreachable. That illusion shattered within days. It started with a phone call. Investigators think a Scattered Spider member contacted MGM's help desk. They pretended to be real employees. They researched on LinkedIn, skipped security checks, and accessed the company's Okta credentials. From there, it was a domino effect. Systems fell one after another. By the time MGM realized what was happening, it was too late. Slot machines across the Strip went dark. Hotel keycards failed. Restaurants and reservations collapsed into chaos. Losses estimated at over $100 million. Caesars quietly paid a $15 million ransom. They did this to keep their breach from going public. They spoke with the hackers, They wanted to protect their crown jewels, the data on key customers and internal systems. Scattered Spider didn't deploy ransomware themselves. Instead, they handed access to ALPH-V, one of the world's most notorious ransomware groups. ALPH-V ran the encryption, and Scattered Spider handled the breach. This wasn't a brute force hack. It was a scam done with corporate skill. It left America's largest casino empires frozen. The message is clear. Even big companies can't beat a team with a good phone script. Late 2023, online forums and encrypted chats. Behind every breach was a human voice, cocky, impatient, and young. Scattered Spider wasn't a centralized organization. It was a loose network of social engineers, SIM swappers, and data brokers. Many used aliases. They often bragged in underground Telegram groups or private forums like breach forums. Some had roots in previous hacker collectives. Others were just teenagers chasing status and cash. They didn't act like usual cybercrime gangs. No heavy Russian accents. No complex command and control infrastructure. Most members spoke English as their first language. They mainly came from the US and the UK. They knew American help desk language and corporate systems very well. Their playbook was simple but devastating. Research employees using LinkedIn or company leaks. Call the help desk pretending to be them. Bypass multi-factor authentication by persuading IT to reset or disable it. Once in, move fast, escalate privileges, and sell access to ransomware crews. What shocked investigators wasn't just how effective it was, instead how casual the group was about it. They joked about million-dollar ransoms like they were gaming wins. In chats, they mocked companies they'd breached, calling themselves legends or ghosts. To them, it wasn't crime, it was digital flex. But that bravado would become their weakness. Because the more they talked, the more they revealed not just their methods, but their identities, patterns, and mistakes. And as they reveled in their victories, the FBI was already deep inside the web. In May 2024, Arizona, United States, the net had been tightening for months. By early 2024, federal investigators thought they had found a key player in Scattered Spider. He was a 22-year-old from Arizona named Tyler Buchanan. The Department of Justice didn't name the group outright. Cybersecurity insiders and FBI leaks revealed a key fact. They thought he was a coordinator and a recruiter. He might have also connected the group to ransomware teams like ALPH-V. He went by aliases like Tyler No Good or Tyler Rose. Online, he was daring. He often posted in underground groups, showing off his role in big breaches. He even mocked the security researchers who were trying to find him. But real-world mistakes caught up. Court documents say Buchanan stole credentials to access more than a dozen companies. He allegedly ran a private Telegram group. In this group, people traded credentials and shared methods. He also bragged about a breach on video, laughing, his face visible. Authorities watched, waited, and built their case piece by piece. Then in May 2024, the arrest came. No dramatic raid, just quiet handcuffs in a quiet suburb. One of the youngest high-profile cyber suspects in the U.S. was in custody. The charges? Conspiracy to commit wire fraud and identity theft, among others. If convicted, Buchanan could face decades in prison. He pleaded not guilty. But even as he awaited trial, the damage had been done and the message sent. Law enforcement was adapting. Between early 2023 to 2024, the Deep Partnership. Scattered Spider was great at breaking in. They often assigned the harder tasks, like encrypting networks and asking for ransoms, to partners who had more experience. One of their main partners was the ALPH-V ransomware group, also called BlackCat. BlackCat wasn't just another ransomware gang. They operated like a business, with affiliates, negotiators, and even a PR strategy. When Scattered Spider hit big targets like MGM Resorts, BlackCat took action. They released the payload. They encrypted the systems. They warned that sensitive data would leak if they weren't paid. The collaboration was like a power couple in cybercrime. Young and daring insiders passed the keys to a crew skilled at stealing millions. In 2023, Scattered Spider got domain access to a target company. Then, they invited BlackCat to take over. BlackCat encrypted many machines and uploaded stolen files to their darknet site. The ransom demand, 8 figures. What made this partnership especially dangerous was its speed and scale. Scattered Spider could breach in hours. BlackCat could lock it down within minutes. But this marriage of convenience has a flaw: visibility. Each attack increased global scrutiny. Security firms such as CrowdStrike and Mandiant began to piece together information. They tracked shared tools, language patterns, and cryptocurrency wallets. When the FBI seized BlackCat's infrastructure in December 2023, it dealt a major blow to the group. But it also exposed links, chat logs, usernames, digital fingerprints that led back to Scattered Spider. And suddenly, what looked like a syndicate became a smoking gun. From January through May 2024, the pursuit across screens and servers. The FBI wasn't just reacting. News reports focused on the MGM and Caesar hacks. Meanwhile, federal cyber teams worked on Operation Spidertrap. This was a coordinated probe aimed at the Scattered Spider group. But this wasn't your typical manhunt. No fingerprints or car chases. Only traces of malware, VPN logs, burner phones, and OPSEC errors. Agents followed breadcrumbs across continents. They looked over incident response reports. They also subpoenaed server logs. Then they traced cryptocurrency movements through mixers and wallets. Collaboration with foreign governments grew stronger. This was vital since some suspects were active in Europe, the UK, and Canada. A major breakthrough occurred when a group member forgot to hide their IP address while trying to do a SIM swap. It pinged to a residential address in the US. An informant, ex-member arrested for another crime, came forward. They provided investigators with usernames and encrypted chat handles. As profiles emerged, so did their ages: 16, 18, 20. Some were barely out of high school. They weren't professionals. They were skilled, reckless, and addicted to the rush. An FBI agent called the group Cyber Thrill Seekers, playing at the edge of terrorism. In April 2024, the FBI confirmed that they found several U.S.-based suspects. This led to the high-profile arrest of Tyler Buchanan. But the Bureau wasn't done. They were chasing more than one spider, and this web was global. Between June and August 2023, the price of breach. It started with a flicker on the slot machines at MGM resorts, then blank screens, then chaos. Guests couldn't check in. Digital keys stopped working. Loyalty points vanished. Slot machines froze mid-spin. The elevators stalled. What was supposed to be a weekend of luxury in Las Vegas became a logistical meltdown. Scattered Spider's hack on MGM in September 2023 wasn't just another ransomware incident. It showed what happens when digital power breaks down physical systems. Over $100 million in damages, legal liability, and reputational carnage followed. And they didn't stop at MGM. Caesars Entertainment was next. The hackers stole tens of millions in that breach. Caesars reportedly paid a ransom. The fallout led to shareholder lawsuits and federal investigations. It also caused a rise in cybersecurity insurance rates in the industry. Cybersecurity experts warned that Scattered Spider has mastered social engineering. They manipulate help desks, impersonate employees, and easily bypass multi-factor authentication. These weren't bugs in the code. These were failures in human trust. Public panic grew. If hotel giants and telecoms could fall, what about banks, airlines, governments? Behind the scenes, incident response teams were overwhelmed. Boards of directors scrambled to audit their own identity controls and cloud configurations. By the end of 2023, one thing was clear. Scattered Spider had redefined what a ransomware threat looked like. September 2023 to present day. Tyler Buchanan's arrest, said to be the ringleader of Scattered Spider, was a turning point, but it didn't end the story. It started a new chapter. Corporations, governments, and cybersecurity experts are quickly adapting to a new kind of hacker. Buchanan, only in his late teens, wasn't a seasoned black hat with a long rap sheet. He was part of a new wave, young, decentralized, and bold. His alleged crimes go against the idea that only nation-states can take down large companies. The biggest lesson: it's not just about firewalls anymore. Scattered Spider used identity and trust to their advantage. They tricked help desks. They acted like employees and took advantage of human mistakes, not tech issues. Companies started to rethink staff training, identity verification, and admin access control. Cyber insurance firms rewrote policies. Government agencies released new alerts about social engineering attacks, along with malware. But Scattered Spider's legacy is darker still. They showed aspiring hackers that major breaches didn't need advanced programming skills. Instead, they relied on confidence, social manipulation, and teamwork. Even though Buchanan is in prison, law enforcement thinks the group and its offshoots are still at work, decentralized, dispersed, and evolving. Cyber defenders should note this. The next threat may not come from a foreign government. It might be coming from a teenager who just joined a Discord server. (2025) present day. Tyler Buchanan's arrest was a symbolic win, but the truth, it was just one strand cut in a sprawling web. The Scattered Spider Collective, like many threat groups today, is fluid and factional. It's far from finished. Cybersecurity analysts warn that other members of the group remain at large. Some are suspected to be operating from overseas, while others may still be minors. After each public breach, copycats appear. They feel bold, inspired by Scattered Spider's tactics and headlines. Buchanan now faces federal charges that could land him decades behind bars. Court documents state that SIM swapping, wire fraud, and conspiracy link the MGM and Caesars attacks. Prosecutors want to make an example of him, to send a message to any would-be cyber criminals. In ransomware and cyber extortion, consequences often happen after the crime. Today, the digital battlefield is more complex than ever. Companies are investing in zero-trust architecture, biometric security, and AI-powered threat detection. But no system can patch the human element, and that's what groups like Scattered Spider prey on. So as one spider gets trapped, another spins a web. The war is far from over. If you're watching this, understand this isn't a movie. This is real, and it could happen to anyone. Be alert, be skeptical, and never underestimate what a teenager with a keyboard can do. Want more raw stories from the web's dark corners? Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Stay safe out there. This is Cybercrime History.